On June 17th, Greece will hold its most important election in more than a generation. At stake is nothing less than its place in Europe and the future of the continent's common currency, the euro. In 2 years of economic crisis, the political order that has run Greece since the restoration of democracy in 1974 has been shattered, giving rise to a rainbow of small parties on the left and the right. They are fractious and quarreling, but they are almost all united in challenging Greece's €240 billion bailout and the painful economic reforms that are its price. Nowhere is the dissolution of the traditional order more apparent than here in the suburbs of Athens. This is Athens B, a giant district of nearly 1.5 million voters tracing a ring around central Athens that has voted for the winner in every election since 1974. Many Greeks blame the socialists who took power in the 2009 elections for agreeing to the tough demands of Europe. This should have been New Democracy's election, and this should have been the center of New Democracy's strength. This is Psychiko, one of Athens' nicest suburbs. Compared to the rest of Greece, this is not a place hit hard by the crisis. Still, New Democracy's support tumbled from practically 50% in the 2009 elections to just above 20% in May. The suburb of Aia Varvara is a long drive and a world away from Psychiko. This is a working-class neighborhood struggling to hold back swelling poverty.
Λοιπόν, το ελληνικό κράτος σήμερα έχει περικόψει πάρα πολλά κονδύλια.
The Greek state has cut social spending, transport spending, stopped helping children study. Now the state says, you must have a balanced budget. Can we become a mechanism of money collection from people who don't have money anymore?
Πλέον δεν έχει ο κόσμος να δώσει χρήματα.
The tough budget cuts imposed on Greece as part of its bailout have hit hard enclaves like Aia Varvara, which is scrambling to provide even basic services like trash collection. A food bank that sends out meals to the elderly and destitute is more popular than ever. But money for the program runs out this month.
Ότι πρώτα απ' όλους πλήττονται τα χαμηλά.
The first people who are hit are the people with lower incomes. There's no infrastructure. There's a complete lack of social services. The state cannot provide social services anymore. Even people who are employed cannot cover their daily needs. This creates an explosive atmosphere.
Και όλο αυτό δημιουργεί ένα εκρηκτικό κλίμα.
The political scene has been blown up too. Aia Varvara was once PASOK territory. It gave the socialists more than 50% of the vote in 2009. In the May elections, they received less than 10%. New Democracy garnered nearly 20% 3 years ago. Its share was half that in May. Theodoros Kapitsanakis is in charge of luring PASOK voters back.
It is a fact that we didn't manage to convince people that this wasn't PASOK's program, but a necessary political decision to save the country from default. It seems easier to move the sentiment of the people than their logic.
Lunch at a Cretan cafe here is evidence of the political crumbling. Vangelis Koveos, usually a New Democracy voter, recently cast his ballot for Golden Dawn, a neo-Nazi party.
Agia Varvara is a very poor neighborhood, and people are suffering very much.
His 3 friends were all PASOK stalwarts. Only one voted for the party in May. Like many Greeks, the others view the socialist support of the Eurozone's tough package of cuts and reforms, known as the Memorandum, as a deep betrayal, and as an unwelcome dismissal of earlier, freer spending days.
It is very difficult to support a political group that has adopted a very rightist policy and is socialist only in name.
But there may be hope yet for the traditional parties. After abandoning the socialists in May, Prantakis says he intends to return to the fold in the June vote, because he thinks the party can change its ways. Koveos, the Golden Dawn voter, says he decided he has little in common with the Golden Dawn extremists and will vote for New Democracy. If New Democracy and PASOK are to muster a comeback and win a mandate to continue the European-funded bailout, they'll have to convince hundreds of thousands more voters here in the Athens suburbs. Right now, the result, and with it Greece's future, is anyone's guess. This is Charles Forelle for the Wall Street Journal in Athens.